It is a cool, clear evening, with a bright and nearly full moon providing good illumination of the jagged, ruined walls of the Watchtower. The wind has calmed, though a breeze still rustles the sparse trees and bushes, making it hard to hear movement among the shadowy rocks and walls. Somewhere up here, a trap door supposedly hides a small armory. Your task is to locate that door and hopefully the key to open it. Of course, if the stories are true, you aren't the only ones up here. And this, my friends, will be our board for the last dedicated solo scenario in the Broken Watchtower campaign, which is the solo aspect of the first Silver Bayonet supplement, the Carpathians. I'm working on working out how to convert the PvP missions into solo missions. But for this mission, we've got 5 clue markers, center of the board, 3 inches in from the middle, 3 inches in from the middle, one each in opposing corners of the Watchtower. In the ground floor of the Watchtower, we have the dog head. He will not activate on turn 1, and then every other turn you roll a d6 at the beginning of the turn. If you roll a 6 or higher, then he will activate as normal. Unless you enter the Watchtower. Once you end or begin your movement in the Watchtower, he is active and on the hunt. So my plan is to try to maybe clear around the Watchtower a little bit and then go deal with that. It is dark. Even with the moon, it's still pretty dark. So we have got a maximum line of sight of 14 inches, a target point in the center of the board. And if I had a character with the artillerist ability, I would be able to fire this cannon. I don't actually have a cannon model. This is obviously an old Empire artillery piece. But it serves the purpose. It's a fantastical world. We're not playing a straight up historical, so that's okay. Starting mobs, we've got the dog head. We've got 3 ghouls, one in the dead center on that clue marker, one here, one there, one there. We've got 3 giant rats, one on each corner except this one. And then we have, there's also a ghoul up in that corner. So pretty heavy board, and some more stuff is definitely going to be coming as we draw event cards for the game. Before we draw an event card, we need to take the first turn. So let's get after it. My movement and the shots to be taken, there's not a lot to be done in the first phase, or in the first turn, other than moving. So we're going to move up Grigory, the Doc, and Dimitri, our champion of faith. Dimitri's going to try to bless Grigory's west. 4, 8, and he should be courage pretty good. Courage 3, so that's an 11. We pass. So Grigory's weapons are now blessed. Monster phase, this ghoul up center here can see Grigory, but it's going to be difficult terrain climbing down all these rocks. So he's going to go that way. This one, because it can't see anybody, because maximum line of sight is 14 inches, will move towards that clue marker. The rats will move. Well, no, the rats are already near a clue marker, so they'll just move. That one will move to one of the corners. Those will stay put because they're already right at a clue marker. That ghoul's going to stay put. That ghoul's going to move towards a clue marker. Up here. Climbing up, moving over. He doesn't quite make it off the rock, so he'll, I don't know, hopefully I can shoot him down before he's a problem. We'll see what happens. Back to me. I'm going to see what kind of opportunities I can create here. Really get anybody into a good position to get a shot off. So these 2 sprinted, Mikhail and Egon, sprinted up so that they could have a good open and volley next turn. Everybody else just kind of moved up following the pack. Let's roll this d6 to see if the dog head activates. No, it does not, but it almost did. It's cocked. 5. 5 delivers a bat swarm along a random point of a random table edge. So I did a d4, and then I rolled 1d10 and multiplied it by 3 like you would do the X or Y axis for placing something in County Road Z. Because that just worked easiest for me. I already knew how to do it. So, into my turn. let's start with these volleys right here. Let's see how that goes and goes. Egon, now when you shoot in this game, or when you do pretty much any of the checks or anything, you're rolling 2 dice. Power and skill. You add them together and you're looking to beat their defense. So we get a 9, 10, 11 plus my accuracy of 2 makes a 13 against their defense 13, and because I have the rifle, it's actually they have -1 defense, so against their 12. So that will hit. The rifle is a skill weapon, so we use the red dice, and it will deal 9 damage. And we'll shoot Mikhail, who gets an 11. 12, that's going to hit regardless. However, it's a power weapon, and I want to finish this ghoul off. So my roll can't get any worse. So I'm going to burn one of the fate dice from my fate pool to re-roll that 1. Yes! That's so much better. That's so much better. That's actually a crit. You cannot respond to that. Can't do anything because it's a crit. So it's an extra 2 damage. So it's 12 damage total, which is enough to absolutely just dinger him through the face. That's perfect. Clear those things away. It also means that they cannot return fire or duck for cover. So pretty good stuff there. They're going to move after taking their shots. My last activation for my first phase will be Boris trying to crack off this bat swarm real quick. That's a 10. Boris has accuracy of 2, so 11, 12 against the defense of not much on a giant bat, or on a bat swarm. Defense 12, that'll hit, because -1. So that hits. It's a power weapon. They have health 4. That will murder rate that bat. Bat swarm done. Beautiful. Phase. This ghoul, ghoul on the north edge, is within range to potentially be able to see Mikhail. However, he does not have line of sight because of all this stuff that's in the way right there. So that's good for me. The only real things we're going to have these guys moving towards clue markers and that ghoul up top moving towards a clue marker. I think just push up the table because we're getting some kind of decent sized groupings of mobs, and I want to be able to present a united front. I don't want to split myself up too much. And since I don't have artillerists, there's no reason to come this way. I can't use the cannon. If I could, I would wreak some havoc. I thought that Boris could, but he has combat engineer, not artillerist, because he's a sapper. So that is what it is. The decision is to just keep pushing everybody up the pathway. Everybody's just going to walk up. Dimitri is going to walk up and try to bless... We're going to bless Egon's weapon, because he has a salt bag, and that's not going to be helpful here. We bless. Actually, I didn't have to roll for the dog head last turn on turn 1, but we do need to roll this turn. He does not. And an event dice. 3. A giant bat on a random point along the table. And here, quick correction, Boris would not have ended up because I activated him during my first phase. I just forgot to put the counter on the card, so I forgot. Bringing it back to me, where we're going to start with this young man right here. Sprint check, and so was not able to make it all the way up the rock. With Boris, who's going to reload and then fire at said giant bat. That's a hit and should be a kill. Reload. And then move this way. Movement during the monster phase is one of the ghouls up there was in range and had line of sight on Grigory. True, this one does not, however, because that stuff is still in the way for him. But he will move closer to the clue marker. We're going to have Doc move up just a little bit to right here and pop a pistol shot at that ghoul. Accuracy 0, so we'll see how this goes. It's 11. That is not going to hit. I needed a minimum of a 12 because I would drop his armor by 1 with the pistol, same as I would with the rifle or the musket. Nikolai will move up and take his shot with an accuracy of 2. We're -1 because we moved, so accuracy 1 basically. That's a 19. That's a big old hit for 9 damage because the pistol is a power weapon. End of the turn, the dog head does not wake up, and a bat swarm shows up on way back in that corner. Start with Nikolai, who is going to fire his other pistol at the ghoul. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus accuracy 2 because I didn't move this time, so I get my full bonus, is 12, and they're -1 armor, so that will hit. 7 damage. That's enough to kill the ghoul. And then with my second action, I will reload the pistol that I just fired. Kale is coming out from his cover to take a shot right there. He does. Abysmally. That's a miss. Left, I'm going to have Boris reload and then move up the path to try to catch up. Monster phase, the only movements we have are this ghoul coming down, that giant rat coming down, and the bat swarm over here moving up towards this clue marker. Alright, second phase, Egon is going to get on up to the top. He's going to use my last fate dice to quick reload just in case, and then we're going to investigate that clue marker. So we're going to draw from the deck. The Ace of Spades is the key. We found the key. Nice. Reload and then fire a shot at that ghoul. That's an 8. That won't hit. Poor Doc. Kind of doing a little bit of shuffling from there after that. Nothing of any import. So in phase, we'll see what the doghead does. Nothing. Continues napping, dreaming of chasing things. And we'll see what the event table does. That's an 8. Brings us another ghoul on this southern table edge. With Egon, who's going to pop a shot at this closest ghoul and then scurry back down the other side of that hill. That's a 9, 13, 14, 15. Definitely a hit, but only for 4 damage because, again, the rifle is a skill weapon. Load and fire on the ghoul. 8 plus 4 plus 1 or 2. Plus 2 is a definite hit with a power weapon, so 8 damage. We'll then reload one of his pistols and fire on that ghoul as well. 10 plus his accuracy of, should be pretty good. Accuracy 2, that's a 12. That'll hit for 4 damage, which is exactly what I needed to finish off that ghoul. This is pre-monster phase. This is post-monster phase. We'll move over to take this shot. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 should hit. Will in fact hit, and 9 damage on the power dice is enough to kill that rat. Good, we're doing exactly what we wanted to do, which is just kind of clearing a lane to get ourselves up yonder. Activations are pretty straightforward. Boris will sprint up towards that clue marker. Doc and Dimitri follow kind of in his path. Dimitri does manage to get the bless off on Boris before he moves. He rolled a 7 plus his courage of 3 is 10, which is enough. And then we'll go to in phase. Let's see if the doghead wakes up. He does not. See what the event table brings us. A 9 is another ghoul, I believe. Absolutely not a ghoul. It is a Vrikolakos. So that's fun. I am in a position where line of sight won't matter to him because he can fly, but the 14 inches does. And the closest clue marker to him is about to be that one, so he's going to be wanting to head that way. So I need to get pushed up this way as quickly as I can. Yes, it needs to be Grigory because I want the closest clue marker to him to be one of these over here so that he's not just gunning straight up my backside down this path. So I need to go ahead and do that, and then I need to clear these two out of the way. I probably won't be able to take shots because I want to be outside of that 14. But let's start with Grigory. So he's going to move up, and we're going to investigate that clue marker. The King of Spades. That was fortunate. We got pretty lucky there. So I can technically get there, get the key to the thing, and get the armory, and just get out of here. To get the full rewards, I need to also kill the doghead, which I might try. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to, given that this thing has shown up. So let's get these two guys away from the party. We've got stuff moving, Vrikolakos moving that way, Ghoul moving up to that clue. Bat was in range and has flying, so it ignores the terrain, so it can see me, so it moves towards me. Bring it to my cleanup, where we're going to start moving towards that trap door. Everybody just booking it towards the trap door that Grigory found. We got to see in phase. Doghead doesn't wake up. Event phase 2. rat poking out there from under the bushes. So we're going to have Nikolai take a shot at this giant bat. I think at this bat swarm. I think it's in range, so we're going to pop that shot. 6, 9, 11. I don't think that's going to do the job. Oh no, that will, because they have defense 12, so an 11 will hit for 6 damage, which is enough to finish off the bat swarm. Beautiful. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. They're immune to missile weapons, so there should still technically be another one flopping around here. I'm going to drop it on the table. The other one rolled in and is flapping around up there. That's my bad. I apologize. That's what I get for not RTFCing. I is just going to move up this way, as is Egon. Or Mikhail. Monster phase have officially caught my scent, so I got to get moving. So we got all run moves. Everybody's running towards that edge of the board. Everybody gathered up towards that edge. We will see if the doghead wakes up. It naps continuously. Event phase. A 2 is another giant rat, I think. Okay, so some slight changes of plan. So I reread it and double checked, and I in fact do have to kill the doghead. So I don't know what to do. But we're gonna just try to start blasting. I'm gonna light a torch and then move to there, which will cause the bat swarm to force combat, and we'll fight around. That's a super miss. So the bat will strike back and also miss. Boris will take a shot at this giant rat. Also miss. And then he will reload. Egon is going to reload and then move to the trapdoor with the key, which will open the door, but we still got to deal with the doghead. We're going to get far enough from the Vrico that it flies towards the clue marker. However, both of the bat swarms are going to be doing some fighting. So we'll start with the one that's fighting Doc. For the bat. The bat hits really freaking hard. Rangers, monsters don't crit. I'm not sure about this one either. So we're just going to even or odd. So on an odd, it'll be a crit. A crit it is. So it's an extra 2 damage. So 12 damage. And I cannot strike back. I think that actually just takes Doc down. Yeah, that just takes Doc out of the mix. It doesn't matter. Okay. Anyways, that one misses. I can strike back, but unless I get a big number here, it's not going to matter because they have damage reduction 6. Yeah, that's going to hit, but it's not going to be a big enough number to do anything. I don't have any good options here for my second phase, so I'm just not going to do anything because I can't hurt these bat swarms, and I don't want to put myself in a bad position for other things. So let's do our event roll. 8 is a ghoul, and then beginning of the turn, we'll see if the doghead wakes up. He does not. Boris has torches, so he's going to light one and go in on this southern bat swarm. Better than Doc did. 8, 9 is not going to hit. 9 is not going to hit. So the bat will swing back. And when I do this, the green one is the skill dice for the monsters. Luckily, the bat also misses. Cause confusion, so when you step away from them after fighting them, you step away in a random direction. So I step away up to the north. Foolish, because I need a tremendous roll, but we're going to send Grigory in on that guy. The big guy can get it done. So he hits with a 15, because he's plus 2, so with a 15, that's an 8, plus 1 for a heavy damage, which is almost enough to kill it after the damage reduction. That brings the damage reduction with a damage reduction of 6. That brings it down to 3 damage. Bat gets to swing at me and misses, luckily, with 7. And then I'll back off in a random direction. So back the way I can. Yellow tokens that you see are there to mark the fatigue that you get after engaging in a melee. You're -1 to defense, melee, and maybe one other thing. I know defense and melee. I don't really know. We're going to send Nikolai in on this dude. See if he can punch in this last 1 point of damage. One. He cannot. Hopefully he doesn't get dead from it. That's a 12 plus 1, 13. Nikolai's defense 14, so no damage. And then I'll step away in my random direction. Up monster phase, where this bat will come at Boris. And miss. Boris gets to crack back. And that's it. 8, 9, 10 goes to 9 because of the fatigue. Or no, stays even. It just takes away my plus modifier there. Right? Because Boris has +1 melee. So it just takes away. So it's a 10, which is not enough to hit. They are defense 12. Or defense 11 right now. Bat will come at Grigory. Now this one has 2 fatigue tokens. So it's -2 to the roll. It's actually -1 because they're +1 melee. So they go to a -1. So that's a miss. Luckily. I gotta deal with these doggone bats before this freaking doghead wakes up or something else catches my scent. The rest of the monster phase will be some moving around. I gotta take some measurements, see what's scent back up. That ghoul begins moving towards the closest clue marker, and the rat comes across that back edge right there. I gotta start, I guess, trying to lick some shots at this Rico. So we'll go with Egon first, popping his shot. Come on, buddy. That's an 11, 12, 13. They have defense 13, so that will hit. It is currently a blessed weapon, so we will deal 7 damage right there. Dmitri, try to bless Mikhail's weapon, his rifle. Come on, buddy. That is a blessing. And then he's going to stay put. He's not going. Then take his shot on the Brico. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And they're -1 from defense 13. That will hit, but for only 2 damage. Womp womp. That is everybody. So we'll see our event. See our event. A 3. And then we'll see if our doghead wakes up. He does not. Bat all the way back in this corner. They're just coming in heavy. There must be some caves back up there behind the Watchtower where all these bats are nested. Who's going to reload and then unload on this Brico. 6, 10, 11, 12. That is a hit at defense 13 for 4 damage on that dice. Not enough to kill him, but we're whittling him away. Mikhail to deal 2 damage. He can't do it. Let's move back just a little bit. I want to keep him closest to the bats, but I want to make sure that Vrico can't get to me or to within an inch of me. So he's still closest to both, but not close enough for that. We'll go to monster phase. Well, hold on. Boris has a blessed weapon, so he's going to move back, and then he's going to take the shot at the Vrico. Let's do that. That sounds better. That's a hit. 14, 15, 15, 16. 16 with a blessed weapon, 4 damage. That is enough to kill the Vrico. Okay. Big scary thing number 1 dealt with. Monster phase, where this bat's going to make a run at Boris. Bat swarm, rather. That is a hit on the power dice, though, so for 5 damage. Back with his lit torch. Oh, yes. And absolutely just sets the entire swarm ablaze. These guys are pretty much right there at the same swarm. So I rolled a D4, and the swarm rolled a 1, so the swarm is going to go to Nikolai. Swarm will hit for Jesus 9 damage. Swing back, though, and if he can swing big here, he can finish it off. Nope. He cannot. Bat swarm will back away. We'll send Boris in to finish up that job in a second. Dmitri in my second phase. And he's going to try to heal some damage off of Nikolai. He succeeds. So 3 damage comes off Nikolai. He's going to move in to attack the rat. Rat gets to swing back. And also misses. Take a shot at the rat. He misses horribly. Mid phase. We get a 2, which is either a rat or a bat. It's a rat. And then we'll see if Doghead wakes up. He does not. We're going to try to have Dimitri heal some damage off of Boris, which he does. He's going to stay put. He's not going to do anything else. But Boris is going to go try to take this last point of damage off of this bat, making sure to go around so as to not trigger the rat. Bless, I can't hit this thing. Luckily, it can't hit me. We'll have Nikolai unload his other pistol into the rat. Golly! What do we miss? But that pistol is broken. That's the iron shot pistol, so that's a bummer. On a freaking rat. Go to monsters. So rat will push in on Grigory, who is the closest. He hits me for... Oh, wait, no, he doesn't hit me because I have defense 14. Awesome. And then I get to crack back at him. And that's a 10, 11, 12. Power dice of 8 plus 1 for the heavy weapon. 9, that will kill the rat. Thank goodness. We'll push into Nikolai because he's closest. That's a 12. Well, Nikolai has defense 14. That is not a hit. Nikolai gets to crack back. Needs to do 1 damage here. I do the 1 damage that I need. Yes! And that does it for our monster phase. Bat moves a little bit closer. He won't move towards Boris because he has a fear of fire, and Boris has torches. And our other ghoul moves this way. Oh, giant rat also. Let me see what he's behind that tree that I couldn't see, and so I forgot about it. But I know he's there now, so he'll move to attack Mikhail. 12. He'll miss. Mikhail will get to crack back, and he will absolutely obliterate that rat. Mush. Mikhail will reload and shoot at the giant bat. He misses. Egon will reload and shoot at the giant bat. He 9, 10, 11. That actually should be a hit because they are defense 12 if I'm not mistaken. Defense 12, so an 11 will hit. However, it will only hit for 2 damage. Fury will go have a punch at it. And punch. 8, 9, 10, 11 will not hit. Try to bite me back. And does so with a 15. So 7 damage, and it is infectious. The infectious only comes into play if he goes down, which hopefully he will not. But I do get to make a will test. Or courage test, which I pass, so I can skin shift. Okay, I've sat here for like 20 minutes figuring out what I want to do here. Finally figured it out. So Dimitri is going to try to heal some damage off of Grigory. 7, 8, 9, 10, which he does. He's going to reload and shoot at the bat. He will kill it, or he will hit it, but he will only deal 1 damage to it. Nikolai will reload his remaining pistol and take a shot at the bat. And he misses. Okay. Good to know. See Fear of Fire in action. Grigory is the closest model to the bat. However, Grigory is within 2 inches of Boris, who has a lit torch. So the bat will not go at him. It will charge at Nikolai. Oh, and it will hit. That's a 15. So that'll hit for 6 damage. Which messes him up pretty bad, but I get to swing back. Hopefully he can do some work here as a retaliation. Nope. Doghead comes charging out of the broken watchtower. Giant rat moves up. Nothing else really of any consequence in that monster phase. Before we move on, there was also a bat swarm up there that I couldn't see, or that I'd forgotten about. So he's going to move into Dimitri and hit Dimitri, but for only 4 damage. So that's not too bad. That could have been a lot worse. He's going to crack back, and he needs a big number here. That's a pretty big number, actually. That's 5. That's a 14, so that's going to hit. And he's going to do 9 damage minus 6, so 3 damage. and that leaves it at 1 health, I believe. Yep, leaves it at 1 health. A 10 would have finished it off. Okay, now we're into my second. So I've got Grigory, Boris, and Mikhail left to activate. So Grigory is going to charge into the bat. Hoorah. Oh, that's a hit. That's a big old. Very strong. That's a 12 that it's going to deal to him, which is way more than enough to finish him off. Hale is going to reload and try to shoot this rat, and then next turn I'll be set to just dump a ton of shots into this dog head. So we're going to shoot at the rat. We're going to hit and kill the rat. Beautifully executed. Is Boris. So he's going to move. He's got his torch. So he's just going to move, reload, and then move to attack this bat swarm with his torch. You got this, bro. You got this, bro. Didn't need to reload. That was Egon's plume of smoke. All right. And then we'll go to the end phase, where we're going to get a 5. That was another freaking bat swarm. And that jerk came in right here on my edge. Couldn't have come in on one of these edges over here where it wasn't going to be a problem. No, no, no. He showed up and decided he wanted all the smoke. Well, he's going to get it in a minute. I got to try to put some licks on this thing first. So we're going to open with Mikhail, who's going to reload and fire. You got this, bro. Oh, you don't got this. That's a miss. Reload and fire. 10, 11, 12 will hit for 5 damage reduction 2, so for 3 damage. Nikolai will reload and fire. 6, 9, 10, 11 will not hit. He's Doghead's gonna come at Egon. Fine. 6. Oh, God bless. Yeah, that's going to absolutely just one-shot Egon. The second half of me. So we're going to start with Dimitri, who's going to throw a heal on Nikolai, which he successfully does. He is fatigued, so that's something. So Grigory's going to go in on him. Of the big forest baddies. Really wish I had fate dice right now. That's a hit. That's a 13, 16. It's definitely a hit. It'll be basically his damage reduction just negates my extra 2 damage that I get. Well, no. Very strong gives me 2, but then I also have +1 for the heavy weapon, so it would be 8 damage. To 11. He gets to swing back at me. This is when it gets sketchy. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Misses. Because again, he's -1 for being fatigued. So that's beautiful. He's going to go in on the bat swarm with his torch. That'll hit. That will hit and kill. Let's go. Then we go to the event phase. We get a Rickalacus. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Rico. And I thought that I had caught a little bit of break because it came in on this edge, but nope. Nope. It came in up there. So I got to make quick work. If I can kill this thing, then the scenario ends. And I can rest. So I've only got 2 activation. Wait. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I only get 2 activations here because it rounds down. So we're going to go with Mikhail. No. Nico. Either one. They both have to. Mikhail's going to reload and take a shot. It's an 11, 12, 13 will hit for 2 damage. Every little bit counts. And then I'm going to have Grigory go in and see if he can just do the work right now. Come on, baby. Come on. You simple bitch. Takes his axe. Doghead gets to swing back at me. He misses at least. So there's that. the monster phase, Doghead will go in on Boris. Grigory. That's not Boris. And he misses. Wait. No. He hits. For damage will take Grigory to 1. He then gets to swing back. This is the time to redeem yourself, bud. Oh my goodness. So that's going to hit. -1 for the improvise goes to 9, but +2 for being super strong goes to 11. That's enough. That's enough. Doghead goes down. We all duck down the trap door. Game over. Doc and Egon both survive full recoveries, no problems. There's enough bonus experience there that everybody's going to get a bonus XP. Grigory gets an extra one for killing the Doghead, and Egon gets an extra one for opening the trap door. In the armory, we're allowed to swap out any of our special equipment, as well as we find a special weapon, which can be either a hand weapon or a fencing weapon. Hand weapons are power, fencing weapons are skill dice. And it is both silver and enchanted, because and this works really well as kind of a prequel into the main campaign of the book, which I think I'm going to give a go. I'm just going to make some modifications to the scenarios to make them solo playable, or to make them more solo work better in a solo setting. I haven't read through all of them very, very carefully yet, so some of them may lean themselves more easily towards that than others. But for today, that's going to do it. Thanks so much for tuning in, hanging out while we played some Silver Bayonet. Hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. And as always, I'd like to say a big, huge, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to our patrons who support us and pledge to us over on Patreon. You guys are the absolute best. If you enjoyed the content you saw here today, and that's something that you would like to consider doing to help out the channel, go over there, check out the link in the description, check out the Patreon. There's a lot of cool stuff over there, including access to our Discord server. Talk to me, hang out with me, talk about our work, what we got going on in the hobby, some shout outs, all kinds of cool stuff. Check it out if that's something that you think you would be into. And regardless of whether or not you do that, I want you to know that I am incredibly grateful that you decided to stop by and spend part of your day with me today, rolling dice and pushing toy soldiers around. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and as always, may the dice be ever in your favor.